carts is generally within that 10-foot guideline, unless you're receiving specific on-premise service, where the driver or the truck is driving specifically onto your property and capable of address that as well. Within a curbside location, the 10 feet distance is where most folks set out their park already.
I won't go into my specifics, but I'll wait to be told if what I'm currently doing is wrong, right? Because I don't have a place to put it. So.
Okay, this is just to reiterate the placement of those carts. If you are curbside, the included service location is your gray, blue, and green cart being placed there at that curbside street. If you are in a small truck only area, the gray and blue go on street in your small truck only area, and the green cart goes to the curbside street.
But you have the option to pay to have them come up.
You have the option, right? So this is included services. Now we're getting into on-premise. So whether you are in a small truck only area or a curbside area, you can pay for on-premise service, and that is a small truck driving onto your property. The on-premise service is only available for the gray and the blue carts.
Unless you have this position statement, and then you will come up and get the yard waste, correct?
If you turn in a position statement, then our operations will figure out, there will be a number of options to determine how we can help you out. So I don't want to say there is a single solution, but yes, if you submit that, we will figure out how we can provide you service on premise.
If we can't get a small truck to your location, we still, even if we provide that, we still can't mix your gray and your green materials. So if our driver, if we can't do that, our driver has to walk and go get your green cart or carts and bring them down. If that's 300 feet from the road, we may instead choose to give you an additional gray cart so that our driver isn't walking all the way up and then all the way down and all the way up and all the way down. So when we service the cart, we have to go get the cart, bring it down for service, return the cart, and come back to the truck. We want to make sure that we're operationally efficient. So what Kate's saying is we're going to look at every single circumstance where there's that position statement, and we're going to find the solution that best works for you and best works for
And of course, I will pay for it.
And that's for no additional charge.
No additional charge.
With a position statement, no additional charge.
Oh, your generosity touches me.
I heard you say two things, curbside and curbside street.
The ADA.
What's the difference between curbside and curbside street?
Basically, think of it as we've got two different areas. There's your curbside area, and then there's your small truck only area. The small truck only area is where there's a narrow street, and we've
Okay,
designated
and
the
that's
parcels.
where I am, so that's why I'm confused.
Okay, so then your on-street location for your blue and your gray cart will be the street that is in front of your house, and we can look specifically
Yeah.
at your parcel so
Okay.
we know where your set out is. It's that green cart needs to be pulled to the wider street because the larger truck will be collecting there. And there are other options that I will get to, but that is the designation, is the green cart service location is on a curbside street.
We're in a funny area too, so rooms and everybody on the street, like, do we just keep putting our garbage out there until someone talks to us? I mean, when we look at the map, it changed.
Yes, and the map will continue to change. I'm going to run through a couple of slides, I know where these questions are going. So the on-premise service consists of drive-on or walk-on service, and Emily just outlined some of those. Drive-on is if we drive further than 10 feet from that accessible or shared road. Walk-on is if the driver walks further than 10 feet away from his truck. These are services that you will subscribe to. These are a few of the scenarios that are available. We've got these sheets scattered around so that you can look at different service layouts and what locations might apply for you. So in this scenario, the houses number 1 and 2 live in a small truck only area, and there's that small truck only street that goes by their house. Customer number 1 has elected to have on-premise service. They've got drive-on service for their gray and blue cart. Meanwhile, customer number 1 is bringing their included green carts curbside for collection. Customer number 2 is just bringing their gray and blue cart to their on-street location, not paying anything extra, and they don't have a green cart. Here are a couple examples for some curbside customers. Customer number 8 has also subscribed to on-premise service. They've got drive-on. Our driver is going onto their property to service their blue and gray cart, and they are placing their green carts curbside. Customer number 9 is placing everything curbside. And this can be flip-flopped. You can have a long driveway, a short driveway. Anyone can subscribe to the on-premise service. Okay, if you don't want to bring your green cart curbside, you can put the yard waste material in your gray cart. We can't do that mixing, but you can. So if you want to have on-premise service, then you can get an additional gray cart or upsize your gray cart and place your yard trimming material in that gray cart on site, and then we can service it. We just can't do the mixing for you. Okay, at this point I'm going to pass it off to Zariah. She's going to let you know about next steps that are on you, and that you will be receiving this cart selection guide coming up. And just a little bit of a review of what we've gone over today and what action items there are for you.
Okay, so first of all, our main goal is to make sure that we have the right size carts, the carts to you that you need, and also to make sure that you're only paying for the services that you would like. So that's the goal of this workshop. We're going to be available throughout the next upcoming months, just to make sure we can help with that. And everything that I'm going to go over right now is essentially a summary of what we just reviewed. The next item you'll receive in the mail is what we call our cart selection guide, and this is what it looks like. You'll receive it the week of July 8th, and this, if we have it available online, you can fill it out today if you'd like, for all the people with specific scenarios, or if you're in a small truck only area, we can help you today and figure out if curbside works for you, if you would prefer a gray cart on premise, or what the different options that you would prefer. How many of you know what your current service level is? Oh, great, okay. If you don't know, there are a few ways to find out. One, Rebecca will be in the back, and she can help you find out what you have now. Another thing you can do is call our customer service department, and then they can also provide the information to you over the phone. Or you can also look at your bill, and that will also tell you.
Aren't these the same cards I have now?
It could be, it depends. There are some residents that have all of our carts, our issued carts. Some residents do have carts that are their own personal carts or carts from the previous hauler.
So generally speaking, if we should be having your carts already on our property. In some cases, evidently, people have their own carts, their own cans. Okay, so I don't have to order new ones.
No, so if you already have a gray cart, a blue cart, and 2 green carts, you could essentially say that you have no changes if there's nothing that you want to change, and I'll go over that option in a bit.
Okay. Do you include an annual cleaning of the cart service for me? It get pretty grungy.
You can request for your carts to be replaced if they start looking a little.
No, they just mess
Or
us
they
up.
request it for you, because you've got notes that say you need to call order a new card.
Yes.
My green cards are brown. They're the carryover from the previous provider. Do you want my brown carts on the curb?
We'll actually have to bring you our green carts, and you will have to use.
So none of this goes into effect until I make a cart selection and the new carts are delivered, or is it done somehow?
Yes, so we'll be reaching out via the cart selection guide, but for all of the residents, you will be receiving new green carts if you don't already have our carts, because part of what Emily and Kate went over, SB 1383 requires color coding, and this is one of them. For yard trimmings, it has to be a green cart, so we'll be delivering the green carts to you.
So we'll have green carts by the time your new service goes into effect, is that what you're saying?
No, we'll have our carts to you before September 1st.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question. Is that what size is that car, that the gray car?
The gray one is a 32.
32? Okay. Is that what we have today? Most of, I mean, I'm standard. Okay, thank you, that's all I need.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
Can we recycle our old brown cards?
Yes, we can.
But you just need to call us and ask us. I actually had this conversation earlier today with a couple of folks. We won't take them unless you ask us to take them.
I see.
Yeah, and you could do it a few ways. You could do it on call, so that means that our driver will go pick it up from your home. You could also bring it to our next cleanup, which is on July 27th, and you can drop them off that day. Or you could continue to use them for any single use for yard trimmings. If you, for example, use a voucher, we will collect yard trimmings in a different issue, in a non-Greenwaste issued cart, as long as it's a one-time only and not a weekly service.
I still have a blue card from the previous hauler. It's blue, a little bit lighter blue. Is that okay, or does it have to be your blue?
It will have to be our Greenwaste blue. Yeah, we'll get you all new green,
Okay.
all new color-coded cards. We want to make sure everyone's in compliance, and we just want to make sure that all the services we provide, now with all the changes that are going on, we want to make sure that you have all the correct cards and we're in compliance.
When are these changes in effect? When do I have to haul my green cart all the way down to the curb then? July 1st, September 1st, when?
So, let me answer that in 1 second. I just wanted to make a point about the carts, which is throughout the state of California, this new required color-coded system is going into effect. And we've done cost estimates. Our garbage association members at the state level have talked about how wasteful and ridiculous this is, how recycled to require this. But unfortunately, it is what they're requiring, so we want to facilitate that as best as we can. If you don't want to have your carts, we will pick them up, but you can also use them for all kinds of other stuff too. In terms of the timeline, so over the next month, we're working with folks, with the residents, to start to affect the behavior and bring the material down curbside. We will continue, we want you to start participating sooner, but as of September 1st, we cannot collect those materials. We cannot commingle your garbage and your green cart anymore. So we're going to be, in the month of July, working with you through these kinds of outreach meetings. In the month of August, we're going to be putting cart notices just to remind you, hey, we need you guys to start participating in this program. If you don't want to bring your carts to the curb, here are your options. And so it's incumbent on us to continue to notice you about that so that you know that September 1st deadline is approaching.
And you'll see a lot of myself, Kevin, and Rebecca just around Los Altos Hills, just to make sure that we're able to provide all the information to everyone.
So I'm sorry, but I'm still confused. So at on the website, I believe it was, there was something that said July 1st. That's this week. So this week, are the green carts supposed to be at the curb if we have the right carts?
Supposed to, I'll use air quotes also.
Yeah.
We would really like for you to participate. We know that we can't reach everyone and we can't affect change overnight. So we would love for you to start actively participating.
Okay.
But as of September 1st, we will not be able to co-collect.
I have a very long driveway and it's steep.
Yes.
So I have the small truck, comes up my driveway and he takes everything. If I don't put the green cart down this week, is he going to leave them or leaves and whatever?
No, he's gonna get
It's still continuing.
Okay,
Yeah,
until the deadline.
correct. Operationally, what's gonna happen on Monday of this week is exactly what happened on Monday of last week.
All right.
We hope that you guys can start to actively participate so you don't have a hard, uncomfortable cutover where we can't collect, and then now you have your yard waste containers on September 1st and then full, and we don't have the ability to have a little truck go collect those materials.
All right.
I've got to ask my question again. If my green card is brown, do you want it on the curb starting July 1st?
Ideally, yes, we want that yard to be material brought curbside.
Your drivers aren't keyed to picking up only blue?
No, your driver is very familiar with what you set out,
Okay,
and
good.
so we'd be happy.
So
for
I'll be
this-
happy to take it up to the street as long as it's picked up.
Absolutely.
So we picked up.
I apologize that I didn't answer your
So
question.
if our, you know, like there's confusion or where we're looking, when can we talk to you and get it resolved?
As soon as we finish this, I will be more than happy to help everyone. Yeah, I'll be
specific situation.
Because ours is really limited.
Yeah.
Like
And
we have a broken there.
what we've done is we have done our absolute best through a couple of weeks of audits and through looking at Google Map and Google Map Street View and looking at all of your notes, all 3,000 accounts in the town, and we've done our best to get the most accurate depiction of the map. Our supervisors, our drivers have all looked at it, and we believe this is the most accurate we can get it today. We had a change yesterday. We had a resident that called in, and she said, hey, I think your truck can make it further up this road, your big truck. And so we made the adjustment yesterday. So it's a live document in the franchise agreement. We in the town agreed that over the next 6 months, we're gonna continue to refine this map, but we don't know that you have a unique circumstance unless you reach out to us and ask us. So we're asking for your participation.
Do the rate changes change on July
On
first?
July 1st.
They do. So if we have on-premise, we're gonna get this incremental charge.
If you have on-premise, it's a little bit tricky. If you have on-premise and it's beyond 100 feet and you are already paying for it,
No, it's less than.
okay, so if it's less than 100 feet, we're gonna work with you over the next 6 months. Starting on January 1st, if you are between 10 and 100 feet and you are a private driveway that services 2 or fewer homes, starting on January 1st, there will be a charge for the driver to drive out.
Thank you.
But if we will notice you of that, and we're gonna send letters to everyone that's in that 11 to 100. We're gonna send you a specific letter with your service level, your distance, here's what you were paying, here's what you will be paying. If you'd like to change your service, please contact us.
Okay.
And those are gonna be customized letters to your specific account.
Thanks very much.
And you'll continue receiving outreach materials as well regarding the green cart needing to come curbside. Before it actually takes place, you'll receive notification of that, just to make sure you're well aware in advance.
I've got 2 quick questions. One is, so will every single household in California now be having potentially 3 different colored trash cans? So the cities that now do composting and all of that will be gone. There'll just be 3 trash cans and they'll all be gray, blue, and green.
It depends on the collection service, so all the haulers collect and process differently, it depends where it goes, who's collecting. There is a yellow cart as well, and that's for
Yeah.
Greenwaste only. So some not here, but in other
But
areas.
some will continue that. Okay, that was one. Second question is potentially, and we can talk about this later, but we could have 12 green trash cans having to be hauled out of my neighborhood down to a tiny little section where 2 roads come off. Nobody will be able to get back and forth with 12 carts sitting there.
So
Especially when they get dumped if they're not, moved, and we have all these driveways coming off of that, so how does that work?
one of the things we did, and you'll notice on the map, if you look at it, there's little green circle dots. What we did is we created cluster points, because we also don't wanna make that a problem, where there's a lot of cars and now they're in your way, or they're on one side of the road or the other. So we created cluster points. We're also allowing, it's gonna be 10 feet in from curbside as well. So as we're going through the program, our route supervisor and our operations manager are gonna go out, and if we find better alternative for locations for your carts, we're gonna go ahead and provide you with that information. That way you know where would be best to place your carts, and it's the least inconvenient to everyone.
We're on the topic of those cluster points. How do they get picked? And can you tell us more about?
And if it's
I mean,
something-
I see where mine is on the map, but I can't imagine where the carts actually go right there.
Yeah.
Right now, they're largely where pink meets green, because we couldn't go out physically to everyone to make sure, yeah, we're confident all the carts that need to be there can fit here. So we are going to be working with you hands-on a lot through the next 6 months. So if we will work with you, if you're saying, there are way too many carts here, it just doesn't work, we're gonna work with you. We'll update those cluster points to match what's actually happening on site. So if you're saying, if you could tell me today that cluster point is not gonna work, then we'll get with our operations to fix that.
Can you talk about the process to negotiate or figure it out?
If we can talk to any one of us today, and we'll bring it to operations. We also, if you want to have a designated email to send things to, that's losaltoshills@greenwaste.com, and every concern related to this program will go to that email.
So
in these collection points where there are all kinds of cards, and you don't know which one is yours or which one's your neighbor's, or sometimes gardeners are picking the cards, who's responsible for missing cards or damaged cards?
Well, one, we encourage you to write your address on your card, and as we deliver new cards through the program, that will come with your address on it. So hopefully that will assign some responsibility for each of the cards. In terms of damage,
What was your question about damage
Well,
specifically?
the cards are gonna be really far from
Yeah.
home, so, you know, if they're on your property, people have eyes on them. When they're like way down the street somewhere, nobody's looking out for them, and there's cars driving by and they're in the way, and if they get run over or hit, or someone vandalizes them, because
A new high school sport.
It's-
Garbage tipping.
Please help with that.
It's a non-issue. We've been putting ours down. We've got a dozen cans every week, far away, half a mile from where my house is. It's a complete non-issue.
For you, for you.
You know?
Public House is currently at 2 trucks.
So currently, I wanna say it was about half and half, so about 1,500.
And just to clarify, that's 2 truck service where 2 trucks are already passing, because our little truck has to pass all the big. Now, think of them as, arteries. So anywhere where a big truck goes, a little truck has to use that same thoroughfare to get to the small truck areas. So the areas where we have crossover between the big truck and the little truck, they often pinch hit for one another, so that we're minimizing the total trips down to San Jose. So they're doing what's called load balancing, which I alluded to before. So it's not necessarily that they get 2 truck service as much as it is us trying to route for efficiencies. And we have that yard waste, that single yard waste truck that's already doing this program that we're rolling out starting next week, which is, it's a yard waste only truck. And then the small trucks that are supporting those same homes are only picking up garbage and recycling. They're not mixing those programs and garbage on those shared thoroughfares.
Is there any charge for these, the new cans?
the ones that are included in your base services, no. If you go above those and order the additional carts, then yes.
Base service is a 96 gallon.
2 96-gallon green, up to, we don't have to have the 2, a 96-gallon blue, and then it's dependent on the volume of your gray card.
And if you do need additional carts, there is that option as well. That's also on your cart selection guide. And you have the option to do the gray, the blue, or the green, just depending on what your service, what you need. And then finally, the small truck only area, you're gonna receive this. This is mostly just for informational purposes. We just wanna make sure we provide as much information as soon as possible to you. But again, if you are in a small truck only area, you will hear from us, and we'll definitely work with you to try to make sure that we update our cluster points, that we update our map and correct it as we go along. We will be doing audits, so you'll see our route supervisor out and about, and then you'll probably see our outreach team out and about as well. This is the only thing you have to fill out, and if you have no changes, you would select option 1. Option 2 is, for example, if you only want 1 green cart, not 2. And then part B is if you want any additional carts, or if you don't want to bring your gray carts curbside, and you want to go with a gray cart on premise, you can choose that here as well. And then C is just if you have any other special requests. And this is due, we are requesting if you could please submit it by or before August 1st. That way we can make sure we get you all of the carts that you need before the end of August.
Those are being mailed to us.
These are being mailed to you the week of July 8th.
You can
Or
also
sooner.
complete them online if you'd rather do it digitally. Some residents already have, so that's on that webpage as well.
Or today as well.
Yeah, your physician certification you want here for the, coming on for the yard waste, why would you require this if we already have this?
You should have a doctor's note, so it's.
No, you're requiring me to go make a doctor's appointment to get this thing done. I'm saying if I already have a cripple card from California, why are you requiring this redundant paperwork and visit and expense?
So that's a great question and something we haven't had to address.
Think about it.
No, what I think would be a great solution to that. So there's two issues that are part of that certification. One issue is that you don't have other people in your household.
Good point.
So we would still ask that you complete it.
I would be happy to supply that information. The dog and I, okay? Okay, he does not have an opposed bump, okay?
And so then the other piece is if you do have your placard and you have something that ties that placard to your name,
Oh,
then you
yeah.
could provide us
Yeah,
with
you
that.
get a piece of paper from the state. I got it in my pocket
Yep,
in case I
that'd
ever
be
get
great.
challenged, okay?
Yep, that would be great. Just so that everybody's not using your placard.
Anybody want to
Right?
read?
But that's a great point, and I think that that's
So
definitely
you
something.
would go along with that?
Yes.
Okay, great.
I also have placard, but also quite a few years ago, the doctor did sign a paper, and we did send it into Greenwaste when my husband had cancer. So it might be in Greenwaste now, but you do have a letter a few years back. So I'm not required to fill it out again. You may not even be able to find it, but that was sent in.
Hopefully that's attached to your account, so if you can provide to either
Yeah,
Rebecca,
because
Soraya,
that's
or
already
Kevin.
in there.
Yeah, just make sure to provide us with your information and we can look up your account.
Well, I'll
Don't
give
have
it
to
to
follow
you.
up.
Thank you.
You said there would be a one-time in your special pickup on the driveway. Can you tell us how that works?
Sure, so the yard trimming vouchers, that's something that's new and that was added to the program, and you will be receiving them annually. It's gonna be a sticker that you could place for extra yard trimming collections, and it's up to 96 gallon worth per sticker. And then you do have the option to also purchase additional vouchers if you need more than 4 per year. And we're still working on the final details on what the vouchers will actually look like, or the stickers, but we're hoping to get those to you
August billing.
in the August billing, August 1st, so we're hoping that we can get that.
And we use those in a lot of areas for
It
extra
has to be
stuff.
inside your green can.
That's what you could use the brown, if you still have the brown cards or personal cards, you could use those cards for that one-time service.
And there's a lot of set out options for extra yard trimmings, not in your monthly service. And we wanna make it convenient for you. We don't want you to have to call in. And so that's part of why we're gonna provide you with a sticker, which is to say, I have an extra set out this week, you slap a sticker on it and it disappears. We leave the cans for
Do they roll over to future years if they're unused?
Good question.
I'll say yes if I discover a black market. I may retract that statement. Normally in most areas, we don't let them roll over from year to year, but there's such seasonality with our trimming specifically that I think that we can hold you to that, not just saying it.
Her name's Emily, by the way.
Are you still doing Christmas tree pickup?
Yes.
So there was a period of time, I thought it was still applicable, that if you had extra recycling, you could put that out with no extra cost. Is that continuing, or do I need a voucher sticker for like an extra can with recycling? Because for us, it's usually at Christmas time, where you just got extra boxes, paper, it's all clean and dry. Like somebody ordered too many Instant Pots or something, for every family member. Is that free, or do I need to use the voucher sticker?
So we may roll out a sticker system. There's a very small charge for the recycling, and it's really to cover the cost of the driver getting out and having to walk over and pick up your bags and bring them to the truck. It's a very small cost, and it would just be, it's on the rate sheet.
It isn't for extra?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
okay,
extra.
because it used to, in the past, you put it there and you take it, sorry,
And this again is because of National Sword cost. If in the future our recyclables market comes back, and if we're not losing money on every ton of
So this
material
is
that we
just to
process.
compensate for the extra charge for you guys sending the recycling out?
Correct, but as I stand here today, if the recycling market comes back, that charge will be eliminated. There will be no cost to do that as long as it offsets the driver's.
So do I have to call the garbage company ahead and say,
Nope.
I'm going to have extra recycling?
No, it's $3.58, and you don't have to call because presumably it's gonna be next year recycling cars.
Yes.
Related
Right.
question.
Next year.
It would be right next to it.
Right now, if we have cardboard boxes, we break them down, tape them together, whatever, set them right next to the garbage can. That's just picked up every door. Is that gonna continue for things like cardboard boxes?
Yes, that would
specifically?
continue, and our operations team, let's say that they're really big pieces of cardboard, they can't be bigger than 3 by 3 by 3, and they need to be bundled. But if, for example, you just couldn't get them in your cart, and most of your cart is empty, and you have your cardboard bundled next to your cart, there wouldn't be a charge for that.
Great.
So it's kind of at the discretion of the driver?
If you have a full recycling cart and it's overflow,
Yeah.
then there would be a charge.
Then
But he has to report it, or the
Correct.
driver has to report it.
drivers, okay.
And if we have those extra recyclables, do we have to use, and we have a non-compliant cart for that extra, do we need?
There are 3 different options for how you can set out the recyclables. All of you will get a recycle guide that thoroughly explains what goes in the gray cart, what goes in the green cart, what goes in the blue cart, and then if you have extra set outs, the right way to prepare those for set out, so that not only does it not litter the town, but the driver also has to know if you put recycling in a black bag, they may think that's garbage. So it's also important to set it out correctly so that it goes in the right side of the truck and is handled the way that it should be handled. But all those instructions are going to be in the guide.
Okay, and then just finally, a few more options that you have that we're making ourselves available in case you have any more questions. We're gonna have office hours on July 10th, that's the Wednesday from 12 to 2, we'll be here, or maybe not physically here, but at the town center, and we'll have outreach available, again, to help you with your bill, if you wanna know what you need to do to change, if you don't wanna incur a distance charge, or if you just have any other questions, we'll be here to help. We'll also have another workshop on Sunday, July 14th, and that'll be from 1 to 3. We try to make it different times of the day just to make sure we make ourselves available during different times that works for you. And we'll also be available at the cleanup, which is on July 27th. And we're still trying to figure out which parking lot we'll be in because we don't want to be in the way for people that have questions for us versus people that are just there to get rid of some material. So we're still trying to figure out where we'll be, but we'll make sure we communicate that to you. And then I just want to thank everyone for being here. We will stick around for questions and individual concerns. I also wanted to let you know, if you are interested in visiting our MRF, we have our next tour scheduled for February 7th.
The MRF is the material
Recovery Facility, yes, what we were talking about, and just so you can see how we separate out the compostable items out of your gray cart, or if you want to see how we recover everything that's in your blue cart, and you can even see the bales of cans, plastics, cardboard. We'd love for you to come by, let us know, and then we can add you to our list, and we can just make sure we show you the MRF. The material
What was the date?
There is a November date.
And if there's enough interest specifically for this program, we're happy to schedule an additional tour in your future.
It's
There's one on
a
November
very interesting
15th
tour.
and one on February 7th, but like Kate said, just let us know and we'll be more than happy to take you through. Typically, Kevin, Rebecca, or myself will do the tours. Sometimes if Emily's available, she does them as well.
It's a fabulous tour.
Thank you. Now we're opening it up for any questions. We're all gonna go to our designated areas. If you have questions on your service levels, Rebecca's in the back and Kevin. I'll be over here by the map, and Kate and Emily will also be over there.